Welcome to the Londonderry ZBA December 20th, 2023 meeting. I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening, go over the rules of the meeting. The applicant will come up to the two chairs here and state your name and address for the record. You will then present your case. You will have the opportunity to go over your application with us. I will then take it out to the audience for anyone that is for your application that would like to speak. They will have to come to the podium, state their name and address for the record. And then the opposition will be asked if there's any opposition. They will also have the opportunity in which to speak. The applicant will then have the opportunity to address any concerns for or against. At that time, if there's no other further questions, the board then closes and goes into deliberations. You may stay for the outcome, or you may choose to leave, and then you could go to the town office tomorrow morning and get the results. We ask that cell phones are shut off or put on vibrate. And let's begin this short meeting that I see that we have on for December 20th. And we have a full board this evening. So I'm going to start off with everyone introducing themselves. And would you like to start us off?
Ben Bennett, Town Planner.
Brennan O'Brien, full member.
Jackie Bernard, full member.
Suzanne Brunel, full member.
Mitch Feig, full member.
Chris Moore, alternate member.
Bob Robichuk, alternate.
And in order to have a five-person, which, did you, for the last meeting, was it a full board? Did you?
We split it, so
Yeah, that's fine.
we shared.
You shared, okay, so we'll split again, I guess, tonight.
good.
Okay, so for
Fine
this
with me, I don't
case, you wanna?
Sure, whichever one you
You'll
want.
be voting, okay, perfect. All right, so the first order would be to go over the draft minutes for the November 13th meeting. Do I have a motion?
We'll make a motion to approve the minutes from November 15th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstained.
I have to abstain, I was not here.
You were not there, yeah.
Okay, report by town liaison, do we have one for this evening? And let the record show we do not. Okay. Regional impact determination, please.
There are no developments of regional impact this evening.
Okay, and we ready for the first
We have to
case?
take a motion on that.
Do I have a motion for the regional impact?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the regional impact determinations.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. And we are ready for the first case.
Case number 1220-2023-1, a request for a special exception from LZO section 5.12.5 to allow a home occupation for a child care facility. The parcel is located at 15 Chestnut Hill Drive in the AR1 zoning district, tax map 8, lot 6-48. Brenda and Kenneth Birdsall owners and Kimberly Birdsall applicants.
Good evening.
Hello, so I'm Kimberly Birdsall at 15 Chestnut Hill Drive, Londonderry, New Hampshire, and I am looking to get my variance for an in-home daycare.
Okay, did you bring your application with you?
I have a copy, yes.
Great. So can you, actually, this one, home occupation.
Special exception.
Special exception, so we don't have, would you like to just go over your application? So what you see in front of you is different than what I believe we have. Do you want to just go over, well, no, we don't even have them do that.
I did by points, yeah.
So, tell us about what it is exactly, what your daycare is gonna be, how many kids, and so on and so forth, and then we'll go over, because it's a little bit different on this one.
Okay. Yep. So I will be having. So I'll be leaving it to the state to limit on how many children I will have. But I'm estimating about 6 kids. And we'll be doing. I'll have like, not birth. 6 weeks to about 6 years of age. So we'll be doing some like preschool type activities.
How many employees will you have?
Just me.
Okay.
Are you licensed?
Not yet. I am going through the state, but this was the first step.
Yeah, just to get a variance before she can go through that.
It's a special
Correct,
exception.
So you'll be licensed before you open?
Yes. I am currently working on getting my license. Like I'm right now working in a childcare facility in Manchester, getting the requirements I need that way
Okay.
to become licensed.
And this is a single-family home that you have?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so why don't we go through
I
the
have a
questionnaire? Okay.
If I could just ask, so I've looked at your answers, and really the only question I had was on number 4, when it talks about the percentage of the home occupation. I think these are sometimes worded oddly. If you're not used to a lot of legalese, it doesn't make sense to you. You indicated, does the home occupancy occupy no more than 25%? So the percentage is 22%. So that's what you have. I'm just looking for you to
Yes.
confirm that. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So you do say there's going to be some exterior renovations or constructions in number 7.
Yes. Yep.
What is that going to entail?
Yeah, so possibly looking to put a walkway from our patio down to the basement door where they will be entering and exiting. That's on the side of the house.
Okay, and in number 10, now, I know that when there is a question, 12 for drop-off and pickup, but would there ever be a situation where many parents would come and park and want to visit? Or because do you have an off-street parking? I usually get out there, but I did not.
So no, they will usually be like drop off at different times and pick up at different times.
Okay,
Yep.
Your driveway is fairly long, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
It also widens as it gets further back.
Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Your hours of operation, should you get everything, what had you anticipated?
6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay. Okay, so I have no further questions, the board? You good?
I'm good.
Okay. Do you want to read all the questions in for the record?
So I think we have to go through.
Yep. Yep.
So the activities associated with home occupation.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah. If there's anyone for the applicant, please approach the podium. Let the record show there is no one. Is there anyone in opposition? Let the record show there is no one. Go ahead, Brandon.
The activities associated with home occupation shall not detract from the rural character of the residential neighborhood, nor shall they create traffic, environmental, or aesthetic impacts substantially different than the impacts created by other permitted uses in the neighborhood. That's a check.
Yep.
Yep.
The home occupation shall be incidental and secondary to the use of the property as a residential dwelling.
Yes.
Home occupation shall be permitted only in single-family or two-family dwelling units and are not permitted in multifamily dwelling units.
Check Jess.
Yes.
The home occupation shall occupy no more than 25% of the existing normal living area of the primary residence, or if the home occupation is conducted in an accessory building, no more than 50% of the existing normal living area of the primary residence, up to a maximum of 1,000 square feet may be dedicated to the home occupation.
So I believe the correct response is yes, even though she indicated no.
Correct.
Correct.
Again, it's just, it's the way it was worded is, yes.
Sometimes a challenge.
So, but
So number 4 is yes.
yes.
Only members of the occupant's family residing on the property may be employed. Upon request, the Board of Adjustment may permit employment of one additional employee on the site. Please indicate if permission was granted. So she said she'll be the only employee, so that's a check. And she said no other employees, so that's a no, an NA. No exterior renovations or construction shall be permitted as part of the part of a home occupation.
So she answered yes, and
Well, she said perhaps.
perhaps.
A walkway.
So our question is, are there any exterior renovations being proposed as part of the home occupation? And she answers yes. And
May I ask a question of the
is-
applicant?
Can we,
Yes.
okay, I wasn't even finished speaking, but go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Suzanne.
Can you reread that question again? Is the question, there are no proposed changes?
So the way it's written here is just no exterior renovations or construction shall be permitted as part of a home occupation.
That's not what the number 7 says, though.
Yes, this is the difference between what she fills out and what we actually,
So my question to you, will this walkway be completed before
Yes.
you open?
Before I open, yes.
And is it, I mean, creating a walkway,
is renovation or construction to the exterior?
May I speak?
Yes, please.
So Ken Birdsall, I'm the owner of the property.
Thank you.
We were going to put this walkway in anyway because in the front of the property, we have a patio and then there's a hill going down to the basement door and it just gets slippery in the wintertime. We wanted to put a walkway in anyway.
so the
It just
walkway will be
happens that this
completed
is-
regardless.
Excuse me?
So the walkway will be completed regardless of the
Correct,
open.
although it is going to be part of the build out for the daycare, so that's why we put yes. And when I say build out, I'm talking about the interior because there's work that has to be done on the inside.
So the question becomes, are there any exterior renovations or construction being proposed as part of the home occupation? You were going to do it anyways.
Yes.
So the answer is no.
Okay.
Okay. Do you agree with that? That you
Yes.
answered incorrectly? Okay, so let the record show that as part of the home occupation, and the answer is no. Thank you.
Exterior storage of any products, equipment, machinery, or materials associated with the home occupation is prohibited. Indicated no. Traffic generated by the home occupation shall not create safety hazards or be substantially greater in volume than would normally be expected in the neighborhood. She answered that there wouldn't be.
No.
The off-street parking shall be adequate for anticipated customers, although no parking areas in excess of those necessary for normal residential purposes will be allowed. She answered yes.
We discussed it.
The ZBA shall consider, in addition to compliance with section 5.12.2 and 5.12.4, whether the child care facility will adversely affect the subject property and neighboring properties by reason of any unusual sight, light, noise, smell, traffic, adequacy of parking for drop-off and pickup of children, and site improvements such as fencing. Is a fence being required?
So on her paperwork, it doesn't ask that.
Right.
It does ask that, and she indicated no.
She indicated no, but for the noise, light, and or traffic.
Doesn't
but
mention
It
fencing.
doesn't say anything about fencing.
It doesn't mention fencing.
So her,
Does
It
that
does say in
fall
case of
under-
childcare, it will maybe.
yeah, but will the,
Oh, it's
11 is different.
no, it's
It
14.
continues on to 14.
14's a
Oh,
different. Yeah.
okay, so then it
And
goes
she
on.
answered no. so
And she
that's-
answered
It's
no.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All home occupations shall be conducted in accordance with all town regulations, state laws, and licensing requirements.
She answered yes.
A child care facility shall comply with all applicable licensing requirements of the state of New Hampshire and the Department of Health and Human Services Child Care Licensing Unit, the New Hampshire Child Care Program licensing rules, and the requirements of New Hampshire RSA 170.
Just a statement.
Yeah. I know. I check it. I don't know. ZBA may impose additional conditions and restrictions it deems desirable and necessary to protect the residential character of the neighborhood. I don't believe we have any.
Anybody have any concerns?
No.
For every year that the home occupation remains in effect, a copy of the annual license issued by the state of New Hampshire for the child care facilities shall be provided to the town. Hours of operation are 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's no request for a sign. And that is the last question unless we have any conditions.
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Are we good,
I'm good.
board members?
I think so, yep.
All right, do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion in case number 1220-2023-1 to grant the request for a special exception from LZO section 5.12.5 to allow a home occupation for a childcare facility.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. In case number 1220-2023-1, the request for a special exception was granted without restrictions.
Thank
All
you.
set. Have a good evening.
You too.
Case number 1220-2023-3, a request for a variance from LZO section 7.7.E.3 to allow an electronic changeable messaging sign. The property is located at 37 Nashville Road in the C1 zoning district, tax map 7, lot 119-2, the Southland Corporation owner and Souza Signs LLC applicant.
Good evening, welcome.
Good evening. Justin Sousa, Sousa Signs, 225 East Industrial Park Drive, Manchester, New Hampshire.
We've been waiting for you.
You have?
Yeah. Well, 7-Eleven is one of the few gas stations that hasn't changed their sign yet.
Okay,
Welcome.
thank you.
Do we want to nominate Robert, or we feel like we were sufficient?
Yeah, Robert, we will you'll be voting on this one, okay? Would you like to start off with the 5 points of law, or would you like to go through a brief intro?
Yeah, I'll start off with a brief intro and then I can go through the 5 points. Basically, currently there is a static manual changing sign to display the day's gas prices. They're typically changed once a day or as the market fluctuates. We are proposing a new modern digital style unit. What this unit does is display numbers only. It cannot animate, it cannot flash, it cannot scroll, it cannot display words. It's simply a digital price sign that is controlled via remote control wireless inside the store.
Okay, would you like to go over the 5 points of law?
Sure. So the variance will not be contrary to the public interest because the proposed sign would utilize a static message center for the day and only change when pricing adjustments are needed. This unit is not meant as a marketing means to display information other than the prices of the day. There are other similar signs found within the zoning district, and they are all used for the same purpose and intent. The spirit of this ordinance will be observed as the sign will continue to follow the zoning code's sizing requirements for a changeable copy sign, as well as having consistent lighting source that does not change in vibrance, color, or hue. Substantial justice will be done by granting this variance. The technology for this type of sign price changing has come a long ways from the manual reader board systems that currently reside. This will be a benefit to the employees' safety as adjusting prices will not require them to come in contact with the sign, their customers, vehicles, or having to use a ladder or a pole in weather conditions. The values of the surrounding property will not be diminished. This type of sign, general size placement, is found within the zoning district as it is a commercial zone at its base. Literal enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would result in unnecessary hardship. Approving the request will help mitigate public confusion if the prices on the sign do not match the prices at the pump. Being able to change the prices instantly to match the pump allows the business to be competitive and on the same field as the competitors in the area who are already utilizing the digital signage. This purpose is a reasonable one. The request is reasonable as reader boards are allowed in general, and with approving the use of the digital reader board, it will remain static, non-changing unless price adjustments are required. This allows a business to use a newer system and provides the employees a safe system to manage in a hands-off manner, and there is no conflict with the working in the property. And the last, if the criteria in subparagraph A is not established, an unnecessary hardship will be deemed to exist if and only if allowing special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area. The property cannot be reasonably used in strict conformance with the ordinance, and a variance is therefore necessary to enable a reasonable use of it. As like businesses like this have received approvals for similar requests, unnecessary hardship would come from the denial of this request where other properties do have this approval from this board. Approval of the request would make it easier for the general public to view the prices for the location that may have been misused by the current system's capabilities.
Does anyone on the board have any questions of the applicant?
Just looking for a little clarity on your hardship. So this is a gas station.
Correct,
It is unique that you need to change the price as it fluctuates daily.
correct.
You are on a corner lot,
Yes,
and it's a busy location.
it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had one. The price, you at least change it once every day. I started to hear maybe it could be more. What's the most it could be?
It's by the market unless there is a major catastrophe, an act of nature, an act of God, if you will. It could change twice, but it's typically not more than once a day. It's the day's posted rate. And the only thing that would cause it to do that, like I said, would be an act of God.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. And the sign will just, the changeable sign will just be where the, today's manual square area is.
Well, you can see in the picture, actually, it's replacing the manual piece with electronic.
And that'll be the electronic part.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so it
Side
won't
by
go
side.
anything beyond, it'll be the same footprint?
Yes, it's actually smaller in square footage than the cumulative square footage of the current changeable copy.
Okay,
the
perfect.
digital portion.
Okay, thank you.
Is it possible to change it to $2.04 again?
I cannot
that
control
way.
that, but I will certainly do my
Depends
best.
on the election in '24.
Yeah, right?
One other question. So you're just going to list the regular unleaded, not the other types?
Correct, yes.
And is the numbers are going to be white? Are they going to be a different color?
They are going to be, there's 3 different programs that 7-Eleven utilizes, so bear with me, I just have to confirm.
It said 18 white, so I just didn't know. Not that, it's fine. Just been surprised in the past with some of the colors that we've seen. Not that we can control the color.
It is a white digit we are proposing here.
Thank you.
Any other questions of the applicant? To take it out to the audience, anyone in favor? Let the record show there is no one. Anyone in opposition? There is no one. Take it back to the board one last time before we close. Okay, I've got no further questions. Public portion is now closed. Do we need to hash anything out, or can we go into the 5 points? We good to go? Okay, let's go.
Granting the variance would or would not be contrary to the public interest because I would say would not.
Agreed.
Agreed?
The electronic sign is consistent with the character of the neighborhood.
Yes, quite consistent.
Spirit of the ordinance would or would not be observed because I would say it would.
Agreed?
Would agree.
There's no threat to health, safety, or general welfare.
No, just the opposite.
Yeah, I would agree.
Agreed.
Granting the variance would or would not do substantial justice because I would say it would.
It would. Agreed.
Because?
It will benefit employee safety and make it easier for motorists to see it.
I agree.
I agree.
For the following reasons, the value of surrounding properties would or would not be diminished. I would say would not, just given the area.
Would not, agreed.
Owing to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because there is or is not a fair and substantial relationship between the general public purpose of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision of the property, because I would say there is not. It's a gas station on a corner lot that's busy.
Agreed.
I would agree.
Agreed.
I would agree.
Proposed use is or is not a reasonable one because, I would say it is. Electronic signs are reasonable.
It is, yep,
I
agree.
agree as well.
We don't need to get to his next.
Comments, restrictions?
I have none.
None.
Anybody?
None.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion in case number 12/20/2023-3 to grant the request for a variance from LZO section 7.7.E.3 to allow an electronic changeable messaging sign.
Do I have a second?
I'll second. No, go
Robert,
ahead.
thank you.
Doesn't matter.
Robert's fine.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
In case number 12/20/2023-3, the request for a variance was granted.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Communications or any miscellaneous business? Do we have any?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay.
I did have a question for the group. Is, I understand that the zoning ordinance is going through some revisions at this time, is that correct? Our town zoning ordinance is going through review and revisions?
It is being considered.
Considered. Okay, so I'm just curious, will this group be consulted at all about that, along with the plan commission, or?
It's currently at town council.
Uh-huh. We would not be, even though the ZBA would not be consulted.
Can I
Okay.
just step in?
You can certainly offer input, you can come to public hearings. The process is that it starts with the planning board, goes through the planning board, you can go to public hearings at the planning board, but there's not anything that in our rules or in state law that says we go to the ZBA.
Okay.
Or quasi-judicial courts.
Well, not for approval, for at least comment, but that's fine.
So Robert,
As a citizen, you can comment on anything you want.
Okay.
so we always have historically been asked our opinion. Usually comes from the town planner to say, do we have any issues? I have consistently said our sign ordinances need updating.
That's why I brought it up.
We would cut in half the number of cases coming here if we
That's
had
exactly right.
a realistic, it just needs to be updated, it's just
I'm
old.
assuming that's Mr. Farrell. That's why I brought this up, because we're seeing this over and over and over again,
Yeah.
and it's something that should be addressed.
They're aware, it's
So,
difficult,
can't speak for the plan commission, I don't know.
it's a
Chickens
difficult
first, sign
task.
second.
It's a difficult task to update
Yeah.
and change zoning, so
Chickens
it
were
takes
done,
time.
and Now we're waiting for signs.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it. That was my only question.
Okay. Is there any other business that we need to attend to this evening? Sounds good. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
I will not be here
Under
in
30 minutes.
January.